The year is 1160 and the great Seljuk Empire is dying. Their power has waned and the once proud and prosperous realm now teeters on the edge of ruin. Warlords carve the empire into their own personal fiefdoms, and civil war rages across the land. And there are rumors that the legendary Afshinids are rising once more to finish what they started some 30 years prior, the total annihilation of the Seljuks. In this turbulent time, we meet our hero, a young scribe named Raman, who lives in the city of Moraga with his father and mother. Though humble folk, they are well respected in town for their kindness and honesty. But their way of life is about to change forever, for Ramat's father has made a powerful enemy, the warlord Togrul Beg. You see, when Togrul was but a young boy, Ramat's father saved his life after he fell into a well. But now that Togrul is a cruel and merciless conqueror, he seeks to repay that debt with blood. One night, soldiers arrive at the house of Ramat's family under false pretenses and take his father out into the street, where they execute him in front of the whole family. Then they drag them away to be put to death as well. And young Ramat looks on helplessly as his world crumbles around him. After killing Ramat's parents, Togrul takes the young boy back to his home and forces him to watch as his sister Layla, whom he had been courting, prepares to be taken as a concubine. But then she sees Ramat, and understanding what has happened, she breaks free and runs away with him through the desert. They travel for many days until they come across a ruined temple dedicated to the fire god Atar. And here they encounter a mysterious old man who introduces himself as Rostam, the last surviving member of a hidden Zoroastrian cult. He tells them that their kind were almost totally wiped out years ago when the Seljuks came to this temple and slaughtered all of them except for him, Leela, and her little brother Kamel. And so Ramat and Leela stay with the cult until one day Togrul's soldiers arrive to take Layla back to her father. But when Rostam refuses to hand her over, they attack and kill him. Although Ramat is able to save Leela and Kamel, they are soon captured by Togrul. Back at his palace, he offers them a chance to join him and become man and wife. But she refuses and chooses to throw herself off a tower instead. Heartbroken, Ramat vows revenge and flees into the desert, where he is found by Kamel, who reveals that he too is part of a secret order dedicated to defeating the forces of darkness and bringing light back to the empire. Kamel trains Ramat in the ways of the sword and the bow until he becomes a deadly warrior, at which point they part ways so that Ramat can carry out his revenge. Now years later, Ramat, disguised behind a mask, arrives in the city of Tabriz. We soon learn that he has killed many of Togrul's men and has earned himself the name of the Masked Slayer. But he is still not ready to face Togrul just yet. Instead, he infiltrates a prestigious academy to hunt down one of Togrul's advisors, Hassan Sabah, who had turned the Shah against Ramat's father. After beating information out of a guard, Ramat goes to the royal palace and kills Sabah, but not before being wounded by his dagger. As he lay dying, Sabah taunts Ramat by revealing that Togrul is actually his half-brother, meaning that Layla is now his aunt. However, he also reveals that the antidote to the poison that wounded Ramat is kept within the royal treasury. So, with a last burst of strength, he makes it to the palace, finds the antidote, and saves his own life. Soon after, he learns from a captured Turkic soldier that Togrul is holding Layth hostage in a fortress, forcing her to marry his half-brother and produce an heir. Infuriated, Ramat immediately sets out to rescue her. But when he arrives at the fortress, he finds it is heavily guarded and decides to wait until nightfall to launch his attack. He sneaks inside and easily makes his way past the guards, thanks to his training. However, he is soon spotted by none other than Layla, who begs him to spare her father and leave. But Ramat refuses and knocks her unconscious with a sleeping dart. He then frees the prisoners and executes anyone who gets in his way. and eventually he confronts Togrul himself, who proves to be quite the formidable opponent. The two engage in a fierce battle, but in the end, Ramit is victorious and kills Togrul, ending his reign of terror once and for all. Freed from her father's clutches, Leoi and Rami reunite, but their joy is short-lived, for soon the whole city is thrown into chaos when word reaches them that an assassin has just murdered the Shah. With the leader of the empire dead, the country is thrown into total anarchy, and warlords from all over begin to converge on Tabriz to claim the throne for themselves. Ramit knows that he cannot allow this to continue, or else the empire will be destroyed. So he and Layla set out to find the Shah's son and bring him back to safety. However, they are pursued by rival warlords, including one named Qawam Shah, who wishes to claim the throne for himself. Along the way, they meet up with Kamal again, who reveals that he is the Shah's nephew and rightful heir. With the help of the people Ramit has freed from Togrul's fortress, they are able to defeat Koyur Shah's army and bring the Shah's son back to safety. Then, hearing that another warlord is attacking Tabriz, Ramit and his allies rush back to the city. There they meet up with Hassan, who has apparently changed his ways since Ramit saved his life. Together, they are able to repel the attack, and Hassan is rewarded with the hand of Layla as Sister Kamal. Realizing that he can never be with Layla now that she is his aunt, Ramit leaves the city to live among the nomadic tribes of the desert. There he encounters a beautiful woman named Shirin, who becomes his new love interest. However, he is soon called back to Tabriz when word reaches him that the legendary Afshinid Shah Ismail has returned from exile and is leading an army to conquer the empire. Kamal is killed in the fighting, but not before passing on the mantle of leadership to Ramit. In the end, the empire is saved, but not without great cost. And as the people of Tabriz look to their new leader to rebuild their lives, Ramit knows that he must live up to the expectations of those who have placed their trust in him. And that is the end of Ashes of the Throne. If you liked this video, please be sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next week with another epic tale from history. Peace.
Ancient spirits dance around, as past and present.